Hello, this is Marian Penna coming to you from seemstobeso.com. Tonight I'm remaking a video that I created a month or so ago when I was working on writing these tutorials for cutting techniques in the Silhouette Cameo and the Brother Scan and Cut. This video features Silhouette Studio version 2.0. A lot of people have stayed in 2.0 even though version 3 came out in April. What you will need if you are in, even for those of you who are still in 2.0, click on the support menu item, and then you're going to look for Studio here and click on the download. And here we are. You don't even need to be logged in. I signed myself out just so I could find that out. And I will be deleting that part that I was looking for. So anyway, there are several versions of the software. The current version is version 3.0.531. There was an update in late May, but they released version 3 in April. So there's a Mac version and there's a Windows XP and higher version. There is also the older version as well right here. So that if you're not happy with version 3, you can go back to version 2.9. The differences between, for me, for quilters even, the biggest difference for version 3.0 is that there are quite a few features that will enhance the quilter's ability to make their SVG files better when they're imported into the software. So, also the biggest thing is being able to import PDF files. That's a huge thing. Prior to even the version 3 release, I was astonished by the fact that Silhouette Studio did not even import PDF files. Prior to that, we had to do it in Inkscape. But because this is a 2.9 tutorial, I am going to show you how to get those files converted to SVG and into Silhouette Studio. So anyway, once you download it and you get it installed, whichever version you're installing, then you'll need to activate your serial number. And I would strongly encourage you to purchase Silhouette Studio if you own the Cameo. If you do not own a Cameo, there's no need to have this software. You should purchase the, well, you can use the software that came with your machine, or you can purchase software such as Sure Cuts a Lot or Make the Cut software. Those are the two that I know of that convert and will cut with the Silhouette Cameo as well. But they cut with most machines. The only ones they don't support anymore is the Cricut machine, since it no longer supports certain formats. I don't really know. I don't have a Cricut, so I don't know what the whole deal is there. But anyway, the other software as a 2.9 user you will need to have, if you don't have any other software that will convert a PDF to an SVG, Inkscape is the way to go. It is simple to do in Inkscape. There's you can edit everything you need to do in Inkscape quite easily. So you're going to click on the download button, and excuse me for all the ands and ums. I consider myself still new to video land, and I am not a professional. I'm just a blogger who makes tutorials. I like to do it by video because I think open control panel. We're going to go to System, and right here it's going to tell us what type of operating system we have. I'm not a Mac user, so I can't tell you how to do this in a Mac. I'm sorry for that, but I am a Windows user. So it's important for you to know this. In any desktop or laptop or whatever you have that simply because there are softwares that install as 32-bit and some that are 64. And most 32-bit applications, the difference I've noticed mainly with 32-bit applications is that the processes continue to run even after you've closed the software. While Silhouette Studio does not do it that I'm aware of, something like Foxit Reader does it all the time. Chrome will continue to do it even though it will eventually shut them all down. It continues to run even after you've closed the browser. So if you have 64-bit PC and you can download a 64-bit version, please download the 64-bit version. Inkscape uses www.partha.com to, well, it is sponsored by them, to download this. This site contains many help. So after you're done and you get Inkscape installed as well, you then are going to open Inkscape up, and I have already had mine open here, but excuse me, you'll go to your program files and open up your Inkscape from your programs. So anyway, with Inkscape, there are several ways to open files. We're not opening a file, however. We are importing a PDF file for this tutorial. My patterns come mostly in PDF files, and even though I will provide SVG files, I think you need to learn how to do this yourself because it's important to do. Now, I can't remember how it works in 3.0 for converting it or bringing in a PDF into the software, but it's possible that if it brings in your key numbers and your letters, like as you can see this will do, I'm going to click on my PDF file, which shows up here, and then I'm going to choose open, and it's going to give me the option of which page do I want to open in Netscape. You can't open all 3 pages, so you're just going to open whichever page you need, or you will individually open each PDF file and then work on them to convert them to SVG. So I'm just going to quickly open page 2. I'm going to bring, I always have a hard time with this. Okay, I have found ungroup. You're going to select it. You have to click on one of the little lines, apparently. Then you're going to choose ungroup, and all of these little windows will show up. But we have to do one further little thing so that we can separate these little keys, because right now we cannot get to them. Oh, I guess you can. I couldn't do that earlier, so that's very strange. But if you still can't, the other thing you can do is you can come up to path and click on break apart, and that will also work as well. What we're looking for here is the ability to take out the key numbers. Now you have your PDF file. The PDF is not destroyed or hurt in any way by bringing it into the software, so it's not like you won't have access to your keys down the road. Okay, if you want, you can use your zoom to fit. I'm sure there are other zoom options here, but I don't know Inkscape well enough to know what they are. You just highlight these and you can press the delete key on your keyboard, or you can right click and you can choose delete. You want to get rid of all these little keys. It's just important to do that. These are the eyes, and for the most part I would get rid of the eye because for me I'm going to always embroider an eye, or I'm going to paint it on. So unless you're doing the applique with freezer paper and you're actually going to applique that into place, then you would need to cut a really teeny tiny piece of freezer paper to fit in that eye. But I encourage people to embroider. I am just going to delete them so they're just not in my way when I get to the Silhouette software. But if I were in the Silhouette software as well, I would do the same thing. They would just get deleted because they are not something I can use. I can't cut them in a freezer paper size. I can cut the fabric size, but I can't cut, there's no way I'd ever get the freezer paper ironed on or even turned under to use for I'm just not that good. I admit to that. So the next thing you're going to do is you're going to save this. And I'm going to open, I'm going to make that, sorry, I'm even thinking, LTO5-2, and then I'm going to save that as the SVG. And then I'm going to come into Silhouette and I'm going to show you how to get that ready to cut. I'm going to end this lesson right here and open a part 2 so that it doesn't go on for a long time. I'll see you in a few moments.